Welcome to Made at Home Fill the Freezer. I'm Katie Cullum from the University of Arkansas System Division of Agriculture. I'm the Family Consumer Science Agent in White County, Arkansas. Working with me is Becca Stackhouse from the University of Georgia. Becca is the Family Consumer Science Agent in Crisp County, Georgia. Today we're talking about not just dinner. Did you know that you can freeze breakfast and lunch stuff too? You can. So today we're going to talk about meal planning, time and cost savings, and how kids can help in the kitchen. So it's important to plan your meals, and you can use MyPlate to do that. So you can make a meal schedule for the week using just an index card or a big sheet of paper, your calendar, whatever you want to use. But it's important to write down what you're planning on eating that week. You can also write down things that you have to get out of the freezer so that you won't forget. And when you use MyPlate, your freezer meal may be just chicken and rice, and so you know that you can add some vegetables, some fruit, and some dairy to make it a complete meal. And as you're working on that meal schedule, you can also be working on your grocery list. That's important because that can save you time and money too. Because if you make your meal plan and your grocery list, you're not looking for something to eat in your refrigerator and your pantry. You already know what you're having, and you have what you need because you've made that grocery list. And that can save you money because you can use what you have at home. As you're making your grocery list, you can check and see if you have some of those ingredients so that you don't have, 10 cans of soup when you only need 1 or 2. You can also stock up on sales. This can save you money because you can get more meat, especially when it's on sale, for a better price, and then you can freeze that meat. So that's a great way to save time and money. Now, do your kids help you in the kitchen? I hope so, because they can be a lot of help. You may think, it takes a little bit more time and effort, but that can pay off big dividends in the end. So when they're small, kids can really do a lot. Wiping, rinsing foods, scrubbing, pouring, kneading. That's how I got my start in the kitchen, was helping my mom to knead bread and to make that bread. I think I used a lot of flour as I needed, but I was so proud of my little loaf. I didn't even want to eat it because I was so proud. Mom told me it was a little not as great since I used so much flour, but that's probably one of the reasons I love to cook now. So as they get older, your kids can do more chopping, they can help plan menus, they can clean because they can reach more of the shelves, and they can actually cook, which can really make your life easier. So take a little time and effort and get your kids in the kitchen and let them help. Freezing meals may not be as great for kids because they may not be able to see the result as quickly, but they will get used to helping you in the kitchen. So as you're thinking about things to freeze that aren't just dinner, breakfast is a great thing to do. So I like to individually wrap muffins and put them in a freezer bag. That way they're easy to pull out and warm up. You can serve that with some yogurt and some fruit, and you have 3 different food groups right there for breakfast. I've also done some egg dishes, quiches, or casserole, or the egg cups pictured. I also put them in a freezer bag, and I can pull them out the night before and then warm them up in the microwave in the morning. Smoothie bags are a great thing to do. You can fill up a freezer bag with some fruit and some yogurt, some liquid, and let it thaw a little bit. Put it in a blender and you've got a smoothie very quickly. Breakfast burritos, you can roll those up and you can wrap them in either plastic wrap or heavy duty foil, depending on how you're going to warm them up in the morning. You can even freeze oatmeal. These are still cut oats that I cooked and then I put into a pan and divide it out, and I can take that out the night before, put it in the refrigerator, and in the morning it's thawed and I can just warm it up very quickly. So there are a lot of options for breakfast, but there are a lot of options for lunches also. Yes, you can freeze sandwiches. Peanut butter and jelly is a favorite around our house. So I could And my son also could make sandwiches and freeze. With peanut butter and jelly though, you want to make sure that you put peanut butter on both sides of the bread and jelly in the middle. That way you'll get a better sandwich after it's been frozen. If the jelly is next to the bread, it's going to get the bread kind of soggy. So make sure you put peanut butter on both sides with the jelly in the middle. Wraps are another great option for lunches. Just don't put lettuce and tomato and those kinds of things in there before you freeze them. You can make small containers of soup. If you make a big pot of soup, divide it out into small containers that you can take for lunch and warm them up. Chicken fajitas, you can have all the ingredients and put them together in a tortilla. And leftovers. I don't like to waste food, so I can put leftovers in some small containers and freeze those for later. That way, I have something in the freezer that I can thaw and warm up at lunch, but I'm also not wasting. I don't want to throw food away. So if there's a little bit left, I can freeze it for later. So now Becca is going to show us some things that she's cooking up for her freezer.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Made at Home Freezer Edition. So on this one, we're gonna be making some make-ahead breakfast burritos. So we're gonna dice up our medium potato. Our potato's already been washed and scrubbed for the safety precautions. And now we are gonna dice it up in that it's about one medium is about a cup. Put our potatoes into our pan so that they can cook. They're gonna cook for about 6 minutes, and then we'll add in our onions and our spinach to it while they get browned. And then after that, we'll add in we're gonna go in and add our spinach and our onions into our potatoes. So this particular recipe calls for us to have 8 eggs. If you want to make it a little bit healthier, instead of using all eggs, whole eggs, you could add some egg whites instead of having the whole egg. So we're just going to break all 8 of our eggs into our bowl. Just make sure you wash your hands before you move on. So we're gonna beat our eggs. And I'm gonna add in our pepper and our garlic into our eggs. Our eggs are gonna go onto those cooked vegetables. So our eggs and our spinach, our onions are all in a bowl. We then have a cup of cheese. And then we've got our tortillas. So we've got whole wheat tortillas, because remember that you want to make half of your grains at least whole wheat, so that you've got less processing that's happening. So to make our burritos, we're going to we need a half a cup of our egg mixture. And we need a sprinkle of our cheese. And then we're going to roll our burritos. made ahead burritos ready in your freezer. So what we're gonna do is we've got them on this pan. They're gonna go in the freezer so that they get frozen. And then we'll put them in a Ziploc bag so that they're ready for you to grab, heat up, go, take them out the door, eat it as you go. We'll check back as we freeze them. We got those burritos out of the freezer and we put them into a Ziploc bag. So now they are ready for you to grab, pop in the microwave, heat back up, and your breakfast is ready to go by the time you're ready to walk out the door. Thanks for joining this episode of Made at Home.